more details than that you already know for the recording.
Perfect.
All right. So good morning, everybody. My name is Heather Brunelli. I am the head of sales at Freemodel, your new concierge provider. So if you've never heard of what a concierge is or pre-sales renovation, that's what we're going to dive into today. So to get started, one of our latest stats is showing that 67% of buyers want a move-in ready home. So what does that mean for you? You can now leverage Freemodel for your clients, which is a renovation concierge provider. What that means is we design, we manage, and we pay for your clients' pre-sale preparation. So all in all, that means we will renovate the property before you guys list the home to be sold. So if you've never worked with a concierge provider, I'll talk about why it's beneficial for you guys as the agent as well as your homeowner. So from an agent perspective, I'm always telling my agent partners to leverage us to win more listings by showing the added value that you guys have. I've had several agents say, hey, we didn't end up using you for a listing, but I actually got the listing just because of the service that you guys provide. I also know there's agents guilty of doing project management for their homeowners, coordinating stagers and painters and plumbers. We really want to take that workload off of you guys, allowing you to do what you're best at, winning more listings and selling the properties that you currently have. And then lastly, we aren't going to be exposing you guys as the agent or the brokerage to any legal or financial risk, unlike those agents that decide to do renovation work themselves for their homeowner. So again, taking all that risk off of you guys. Now, from the homeowner perspective, they're not going to have to pay any cash upfront out of pocket. We'll be covering those expenses. I'll dive a little bit more into the nitty-gritty of that in a couple slides. And then we don't want the homeowner doing any project management as well. They should be focused on selling their property, not having to run a renovation. And then lastly, the homes that are being sold the quickest are the ones that are renovated. And obviously, if you're renovating a property, you're going to increase the value of that property. So the home's going to be sold for more. And so more profit for the homeowner, which means a higher commission check for you guys as agents. So how we're different than some of the other folks out there is we have local in-person project directors who are running the project in its entirety, from initial estimate to picking all of the design materials, to handling all the subcontractors, to closing out the project for you. And then we also have a deep bench of local subcontractors, so 800 plus and growing. And then lastly, I kind of implied it already, but our project directors will handle all of the design. So picking out paint colors and tile and fixtures, etc. You guys, again, that's taking it off of your plate and off of the homeowner's plate to have to make any decisions like that. So some of the stats that we have and how we're adding values for our agent and homeowners, everybody's concerned about how long a renovation project could take. I don't want to take it. It's going to take several months. So our average project from when the renovation starts to when you guys sell the home and escrow is closed is 105 days. So we're very speedy. Our goal is to get in and out so you guys can list that property. And then our average seller profit is $172,000, which equates to about 230% ROI on average for the homeowner. And then lastly, this is always the agent's favorite number. With our agent partners, we're seeing an average 19% increase in their commission, which is almost $15,000. Okay, so diving deeper into our pre-sales program. Essentially, you can think of us as a general contractor who's helping a homeowner flip their property, and we are deferring our payment up to 1 year, which is then paid out of escrow when the home sells. So I'm going to jump over to the right-hand side. So when I say that we are deferring our payment, we're not a lender, which means we're not charging any interest on the capital that we're lending. There's no hidden charges. When we sign a $50,000 contract with the homeowner, whether it takes 2 months, 5 months, 8 months to sell the property, they will owe us $50,000 back out of escrow. And then lastly, I'll dive into kind of what scope of work that we'll do. But essentially, we are looking to earn the homeowner a 2x return on the investment. So if we put $50,000 in, we want the homeowner to earn an additional $100,000 in profit. That is our goal. Okay. So it's super easy to qualify with Freemodel. We're not running any background checks. We're not looking at FICO scores or anything like that. Essentially, we have this one formula that we're looking at, which is we will want to know what the balance of their current mortgage is, plus whatever Freemodel's project cost is, cannot exceed 80% of the home value. So if you've ever worked with hard money lenders before, you're familiar with them, this is how they qualify opportunities as well. And then secondly, Freemodel will do a home improvement contract directly with the homeowner. Again, the agent's not on it, the brokerage is not on it. And then we also do a deed of trust as a security instrument for Freemodel. And then lastly, we do offer a 1-year warranty on our work. Okay, so what all can Freemodel do and not do as part of a project? Like I said, think of us as we're trying to flip a property, get in and out as fast as we can. So interior, exterior paint, full-blown kitchen, bathroom remodels, landscaping, roofing, junk removal. An agent's favorite one here is staging as well. So we can include that as part of the scope of work. In the out of scope, you can think of things that might take an extensive amount of time or anything that's like new construction. So we don't want to add an addition onto a property. We don't want to build an ADU. We will renovate an existing ADU, but we're not going to build an ADU from ground up. No foundation repair. Let's see what else. We're specifically focused on residential properties, not like commercial or anything like that. I think that's kind of the high level here of the out of scope.
Is residential inclusive of condos?
Yes, it is. I think I have a case study actually of a condo.
Do sellers have to be out of the property for the renovations, or can they still be occupying the property?
They can be occupying the property. We may have to give them alternative options. So here's option one. If you move out, we can do the full-blown kitchen, bathroom remodel, like gut everything. But if you're not able to move out, maybe we're just painting the cabinets, new hardware. So we can also come up with alternative options for the homeowner as well.
Cool.
Great question.
So with the foundation work being an exclusion, that's often tied to like a termite report or structural pest control report. So let's say I have a $25,000-$30,000 report and they want to do that, which oftentimes is kind of necessary because if you're going to paint, well, you know, you're not going to pay before you do that stuff because you're going to be ripping out walls anyway. So is any of that potentially covered under the program, or there's no way around it?
The foundation repair, no. But the other like termite report and handling anything else that would be included in that, I would say yes, we could do those items. I don't know if I answered your question well enough.
Well, they're oftentimes connected.
I see. So no, unfortunately not.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, so when you are ready to work with Freemodel, this is sort of our project flow, sales flow. There's a lot of words on here, so I'll kind of summarize how it works. Essentially, you guys will reach out to us. I'll show you how to do that. My account executive team will do a quick intake call with you. If you're not available for a phone call, we will send you a link. Basically, we are going to collect data about the homeowner as well as about the property. And then you will be connected to one of our local project directors that you will walk the property with, as well as the homeowner, just chit-chatting about scope of work. And then within a couple business days, we will deliver an initial estimate that you can then show your homeowner. So this is sort of like our stopping point here for everybody to decide if they want to move forward with Freemodel or not. So not only is the scope of work outlined in there, but also is the duration of the project. So that's something that you can look at as well. Like the scope might be too big. It's going to take, 6 weeks, but I need something in 4 weeks. So that's a great opportunity to also review timelines with your project director. Now, once the homeowner says, yep, I want to move forward with Freemodel, I can see my ROI. Essentially, we will pull our subcontractors out on site to give us a fixed bid final quote. And then we send that contract via DocuSign to the homeowner. And then we're off to the races as soon as they execute it. And then obviously we want to deliver a home that you guys are proud to list and sell. And then once it's sold, we are paid back out of escrow. So I threw all the maps that we have for Freemodel because I wasn't sure who was going to be on here. So here is our coverage in Northern California. All of these stars represent where at least one local project director is located, but several of our project directors will drive, 50 miles from their house. So we've got you covered in Northern California. And then here's our Southern California map. So Ventura down to San Diego. And then I also tossed in our Texas and Florida maps as well for coverage. Okay, so everybody's favorite part, case studies. Love a good before and after. I tried pulling different price points. I realized I only did California because Texas and Florida just have vastly different price points. So keep that in mind. But let's dive in. So here's a condo for you, Jessica. So this was a tiny little renovation, spent almost $20,000, sold for $562,000, earned the homeowner $92,000 back. Took us about 3 weeks. And as I'm flipping through these case studies, you'll realize, or you'll start to notice, that we really customize our design based on the property, based on the scope of work. It's not like, here's your white options, here's your brown options, here's your black options. Which one do you want us to implement? This is what the designers are for. They're going to be picking very custom selections based on the type of property as well. All right, here's a Craftsman that we did. So we spent $67,000. It sold for $1.5 million. Earned the homeowner an extra $307,000. This one took 3 weeks as well. And this one, what was that?
That was a good ROI.
Yeah, that was a good ROI. I think this one is actually in SoCal. There's a lot of historical in Southern California, and I know NorCal does too as well.
Do you have like a breakdown or just a rough idea for what was actually, I mean, frankly,
Yeah, I'll show you.
$67,000 is a very small amount of money for what you're showing in the pictures. I mean, you could spend that on a kitchen before you blink.
Yeah, especially in San Francisco.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Everything costs a lot more. Like some of these numbers may be from other locations. Like we literally pay multiple times more here than virtually anywhere else.
Yeah, so let me show you shortly. One stat I recently saw is in Northern California. Like if I just look at Northern California data, our average project size is $90,000. And I think in Southern California, it's about 80. So just to put it in perspective, yes, I know Northern California is vastly more expensive and you're not doing too much for $15,000.
Yeah. What's your cap?
500,000.
Okay, so that's good.
Okay. Yeah, we do very large renovations in NorCal.
Is that dependent on how much equity they have?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So our cap is 500,000, but everything has to like fit in our formula, which basically is saying that the homeowner has enough equity for Freemodel to dive into this. And the formula, we can work our math backwards, but basically we can also figure out what our project size will be based on how much equity they have in their property.
Yeah. They have to be able to afford it, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So 500 is the hard cap, provided it fits into the equity formula.
Yep. You got it.
80%. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And the price you quote, that's like all inclusive. That's with all your fees and profit margin and project management. All that stuff is already factored in.
You got it.
Okay. And do you have a rough number, like what the markup is? Let's say this homeowner was gonna go out and shop for the same project with a local contractor. Like how much more would it cost them to have you guys do it?
Yeah, I mean, I would say we're in line with a general contractor. I always say, like, if you got Bill, your paint guy you've been using for 20 years, we're probably not going to beat his price. Right. So we're trying to be the all-inclusive. You get the designer, you get the project manager. So I know we're not a fit all the time for everybody. But yeah, I would say price in line with just a general contractor, but you also get a designer with that as well. Cool. And one of the things I always tell my agents too is like, if you got a bid from somebody, like give it to our project director and see if we can compete. Don't just like wash us away. It's okay to like challenge, like, hey, can you do something a little different? Can we get closer to this number? Allow them to be creative and go back to the subcontractors and ask them, you know, hey, can you adjust your pricing on paint or what have you?
So are you guys the GC
We are the
ultimately?
GC. Yep. We're the
You are
general
the GC.
contractor.
Got it.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect. So then all the people that do the work, they're all subs to you guys.
you got it.
Awesome. Okay.
And while we're talking about that, so I don't forget, if some agents have like their favorite stager or what have you, maybe they have a painter, we can also onboard your subcontractors into Freemodel to be leveraged on our projects. So something to consider. The one thing I have to put out there is we're obviously going to tag our margin on. So you need to be aware if you see our bid and you're like, well, Bill always charges me this, our margin is going to be tacked on to that, obviously, because we're running the entirety of the project and we're lending capital.
And if you don't onboard a stager, you guys have stagers
We do.
that you're connected
Yeah.
with
Yeah, absolutely.
in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Yeah, we
specifically?
launched in the Bay Area first. So that is probably our deepest. I think we've got 30 project directors just in that vicinity.
Cool.
All right, so I think I got a couple more examples, just kind of going up in price point and project size. So I wanted you guys to see what all that we can do. This might be our last one. So this one we spent 128,000, sold for 1.8 million, earned the homeowner an extra 620,000 back. And this one also had some staging done as well. And then lastly, oh yeah, I like this one. This one we spent 108,000, sold for 2.5 million, earned the homeowner $446,000 back. This one took us 8 weeks. And that's the last one that we have. So moving on to our agent resource center. So this is a hidden website. You cannot go on Freemodel and find it just by Googling it. This is specifically for you guys as agents. So I will send the deck, Jessica, to you. You'll have this URL as well. But if you go check out our resource center, there's everything from that diagram that I said had a lot of words on it and how our process works. So we'll have a one pager on that. We also have custom flyers up there. If you are going to a listing presentation and you want to talk about Freemodel, there is also an opportunity to ask us to create a custom flyer for you that'll have your name, specifically your contact information. So check that out. And then there's some social media templates up there too. And the best way to get a hold of us is freemodel.com. And you
Wait,
click on
just
the,
back for 1 second. So you're saying that our agents can have a white label Freemodel, like they're not telling their clients about Freemodel, they're telling their clients about my concierge program, right?
it will have Freemodel on it.
Okay. But it would be like, it would have Leon's logo as well.
Yeah, we can since we have time, I can kind of hop up and we can give a tour around it.
Oh, that's cool.
So when you guys are ready to chat with us about a project, freemodel.com, click the bright red button. You cannot miss it. That says, let's talk. So let me hop in and then I'll take additional questions. Let me hop into a couple web pages that I want to show you specifically. Check out this one. And so this is our resource center. Again, this is the hidden URL. So we've got materials for you guys as agents, postcards, listing presentations. These are just static ones. There's a FAQ, some talking points. If you want a custom, yeah, it is their logo, Jessica. So there's a custom form that they will fill out. Essentially, this goes to our marketing team. They will put together the flyer for you guys and send it to you. So you have options to choose from different templates.
Very cool.
And then again, there's like a how it works document, lots of good stuff up here. And then if you want to print out a case study for your homeowner, these are all downloadable. And then lastly, there's some social media templates. And then Leon, to answer your question, I can only show so much in a presentation, but if you go to projects at the top of our landing page, we just have like some featured ones. You can look at all different types of properties. in all different areas. So I don't know, we'll pick San Francisco, for example. You can click in, you can high level see sort of what's going on with the property. And you can also click in and it will show like the profit that somebody made, what it was sold for, the renovation, and that will also dive into what the scope of work is. And then there's more before and after photos as well. Actually, I just realized this one only has before photos, but most of them have afters. Wait, did I just click on the same one? There we go. So before and afters. There you go. So I would suggest just poking around on the project's website, and you can easily get more information about all the different types of properties and scope of work and dollar values of those scope of work.
Since the
Awesome.
branding is Freemodel, since that's always there, are you at liberty to share which other brokerages you're partnered with?
No.
No. Okay.
Your competition?
Well, the thing is, if we're branding it, if we're marketing it, and your brand is on there, and we're competing, let's say I'm competing with someone else that's also a Freemodel partner, we're kind of pitching them the same thing, you know?
Yeah. I mean, one suggestion that I have seen some other agents do is they call it whatever you want to call it. Make your own sort of white label and then just use our content for your marketing. So it could be like Leon's concierge program, leverage our verbiage and our before and afters if you'd like. That might be a good route for you.
Okay. And is there a link to get started, like for the homeowner to apply?
Yeah. So
what would be the process in getting
yeah.
going with this?
So since you guys are our partners, we want the agents to be filling out the form. And let me kind of take you through here. I've just seen some, I don't want to say things go sideways with homeowners, but they're not like, they didn't hear the pitch. They don't know the full thing. They don't know what their AIV is or the ARV or questions like that. So essentially,
Well, maybe I asked the wrong question. Where's the form?
Yeah.
How do I get a hold of the form?
Basically, you go to freemodel.com and there's a bright red button that says, let's talk. You're the agent. So you'll just fill out this information. And then you can say, I have a question or I would like a free estimate. And that basically goes to my team, my account executive team, who will then follow up with you.
When they see my name, they'll know that that I'm a Radius agent, essentially.
Yeah, you'll have a spot here that says the name of your brokerage, and Jessica's going to
got it.
all the names of your brokerage.
So basically go straight to your site, and that's how you get the ball rolling.
Yep, exactly. And then if you fill in, I would like a free estimate, my account executive team, which is our inside sales team, will essentially follow up with you and say, hey, Leon, great. So glad you want to work with us. Please fill out this new project estimate. And this is where it sort of dives into all of the information about the homeowner and the property.
So should we save this link or the team?
I send this one. Let me just, it's here because sometimes agents just have a question about how our program works.
Okay.
But I can send you.
They'll respond with the
exactly.
Project.
As soon as they see somebody saying, I would like a free estimate, they would call him and they might try to fill it out online. They will also follow up in an email. And sometimes they'll also text the form because we know agents are on the road a lot as well. And then that kind of, once this form's completed, that kicks off my account executive team to like run title on the property and see if there's any open liens. And then if it's all clear, then we introduce them to the project director to get the meeting set up.
And do you do an appraisal as well?
Later in the process. So once you sort of get through that initial, yeah. So we are the inside sales team is doing, we're basically asking you as the agent, what do you think what the AIV is? What do you think what the ARV is? And then my team is kind of like soft doing an analysis through this title product that we have. And then once the project director goes on site and does the initial estimate, then if the homeowner's like, yes, I want to move forward, then it sort of goes through our project approval process, which then goes to a third party to do like the official appraisal. So they look at like the before photos that our project directors collect. They'll look at all the comps. So that's what I'm saying. Like we kind of do a soft one, and then they dive deeper.
And who pays for the appraisal?
We do.
You do. Okay.
As part of our sales process. Yep.
Okay.
Good question. All right. Any other questions for me?
You were so thorough. No.
I know. I was like, what do I normally get asked?
Yeah.
I'm good. No, this is great, Heather. Thank you so much. I need to jump off actually.
Sounds good.
But no, this is great. You were on it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. That's why I'm in sales.
Those resources you send me, we'll put on our landing page for Freemodel so the other agents can access it along with
Okay.
the recording.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, you too.
Thank
Bye.
you so much.